guys, Raya here. I thought I'd come on here and tell you guys a story. Now, buckle your seatbelts because this is kind of a roller coaster of emotions kind of story. And I'll explain at the end of the video why I'm telling the story. So, where we'll start the story is October 2023. At the time, my sister was pregnant. She had her 5th baby, October 3rd. And she had the baby early, so things were kind of already crazy. On the 19th, there was an accident with her middle child, who is disabled. He's 10 years old, and he's disabled with autism and epilepsy. He was trying to give himself a bath because he had a seizure in the night and wet himself, and he was trying to give himself a bath, and he didn't come to anybody, he didn't tell anyone anything, he just tried to do it himself. And him being 10 years old, he had no idea that the water heater was malfunctioning. I mean, none of us adults in the house even knew. And he ended up with 3rd-degree burns because he had another seizure as he was trying to get into the tub and fell in. The water was 150 degrees. Like I said, none of us knew. None of us knew what was happening until we heard him screaming. And it was heartbreaking. He ended up from the waist down, and one of his arms covered in 3rd-degree burns, and he was in the hospital for 3 months. 73 days to be exact. Because of this, he was labeled to be even more disabled than he already was, since he now has 3rd-degree burns on top of his epilepsy and autism. So, to this day, we still don't know who did it, but someone referred him to Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish raised $14,000 in order to pay for a trip for him to go to Disney World. Now let me tell you why Make-A-Wish did this. When Make-A-Wish reached out to us, we told them what the doctors had been saying about my nephew. And the doctors told us that the likelihood of him having a long life is very low, slim to none. So, earlier this year, 2025, Make-A-Wish sent him, all his siblings, his mom and dad and me, and his grandma to Disney World in Orlando. We were able to fulfill his dream because that's where he wanted to be. He wanted to go to Disney World in Orlando, specifically for whatever reason. And he wanted to meet all of his favorite characters. So we did that for him. He met all of his favorite Disney characters, all of his favorite characters even besides Disney, because they did not only send us to Disney World, they also sent us to Universal Studios and SeaWorld. So, at both Disney World and Universal Studios, he got to meet all of his favorite characters. And he had the best time. He wants to go back, and we wish that we could do that for him. And we're going to when we can. It's just Disney World is expensive as it is. But the memories that we made on this trip, we'll never be able to forget. And I am gonna throw in some pictures at the end of this, just to see, so you guys can see this happy kid on this trip. So I'm going to put them up really quickly, and then I will tell you why I've told this story. So as you can see, he's a really happy kid. And he deserves so much more than what he's gotten. Taking him on this trip, he deserved that, and he deserves so much more. The reason I wanted to make this video is because awareness needs to be spread on this issue. Because where we stand now, it seems like doctors are doing nothing to find a cure. I know from what I know, epilepsy is probably going to be up there with cancer, where it's pretty difficult to find an actual cure. And there's only really ways to fight it rather than cure it. But the fact that my nephew was diagnosed in 2020, and we had to fight with them for 3 years, and them not taking us seriously, and they continued to not take us seriously until this serious accident happened. That shouldn't have happened. So if they're not going to find a cure, they at least need to pay attention when the family of a person who has this disorder is telling you how bad it is. The fact that we had to fight about it for 3 years is sad. So something needs to be done. Not just with kids like my nephew, but also adults that have this too. So, thank you for watching. And I hope in the end you guys are gonna be able to help me do something about this. Thank you. Peace.